Hello there. I hope you are having a wonderful day. If you are a martial arts school owner, this is going to really, really benefit you. And that is a promise. So, one of the things that we're known for in the space when it comes to marketing for martial arts schools is we add members pretty quickly. Brendan Mitty, 127 members in 9 months. I'm not going to bore you with all the results. You probably already know this, but the point is we work with martial arts. We help them add a lot of members quickly. I'm not going to bore you. I'm just going to get straight into the video. But one of the things we're notorious for is helping clubs add members really quickly and add members really easily. Now, obviously, we've got systems and things in place, but what I wanted to share with you is I wanted to share a document I've created that should help you understand how you can add the next 50 members to your martial arts school as quickly as physically possible. And the few steps that the clients that we work with kind of go through to add members as quickly as possible. Now, I'm going to write this document down across this video. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly, but I'm probably going to link it below in the description. So if you want to grab yourself a copy and have a read through, you're more than welcome to do that. Now, let's jump straight into it. Now, this is going to cover how to add 50 members to your martial arts club across the next 3 to 4 months. If you're already at 50 members or you're at 100 members, adding 50 members is going to be a substantial number to add. Obviously, we work with some clubs where they've already got like 700 members. 50 members isn't what they're trying to grow by. They're trying to grow by substantially more than that. But if you're a club owner who's a club where you're fairly small, you've got 50 members, you've got 100 members, this should be a substantial amount and make a big difference to your club. So I'm going to go through these steps really, really quickly. As I said, if you want to go through it in a bit more detail, you can get a copy of it below and go through it. But this is the few steps and the few videos and things that I think you should watch and go through if you want to be in a position where you can add 50 members fairly quickly. So get rid of my face so you can focus completely on this document. In fact, no, I'm going to put my face back. Cool. So let's get into it. Now, how many active members? So we need to understand our numbers. That's the first thing. It's the biggest mistake that a lot of martial arts schools make. And between you and me, a lot of the marketers make. I speak to so many martial arts schools who have worked with marketers in the past, and I go to them, well, what was the goal? How many members were you trying to add? And they're like, I think I'm trying to get to this. Okay, how many members per month do you need to be adding for us to actually get to that, including churn and how many members you're losing? And they say, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, so this marketer that you're working with, like, they haven't helped you figure that out? And they're like, no. And then I'm like, okay, cool. So realistically, how many members do you need to be adding for the marketing to actually be profitable? And they're like, I don't know. And they're working with a marketer, and the marketer has not helped them figure out that first. Just gone, yep, I'll take your money and we'll just throw it at Facebook ads. That's not what we want to do. You need to know your numbers. That's the first thing. Know your numbers. We need to know, where are we starting from? How many active members do we actually have right now? How many leads did you get last month through your marketing? And how many people did you actually have join last month? And then what's not on there at the moment, but probably should be, is how many members do we need to add per month to get to your goal in X months? Like, if your goal is you want to add 100 members across the next 12 months, how many members are you losing every month? Well, how many members do you need to be adding on top of that to be hitting your goal? And figure that out, because a lot of martial arts schools don't know this, which means you don't even know what your goal is. We need to know your goal on a month by month basis, not just an overall figure. If you don't know these numbers, you're flying completely blind. The goal is simple. We need to add 50 members in the next 3 to 4 months. That works out as about, 12 to 15 members each month. We need to have a number, right? So if we're adding 12 to 15 members each month, 15 members is going to hit 60 members in 4 months' time. If you lose on average like 3 members a month, then that's absolutely fine. But if you're losing more than that, then we need to work out, well, how many members do we need to add each month, including the ones that we're going to lose as well, because we don't want it to be breaking even and find out that we're at the same point in a few months' time. So that's the first thing we need to know. We need to know your numbers. That's before we give Facebook ads a single penny. Second thing, we need to keep your offer simple. I'm not going to argue with you on this. We use one free class. That's what a lot of our clients use. I've also got clients who do a paid trial. And then one of my clients, he does a paid trial, but then when they join, he tells them, like, if you join today, I'll take the £12 off that you paid for this trial off the joining fee, which means you're going to be able to join for less. Do you want to join up? It works really, really well. First class free, one paid trial, but they get their money back if they join up. I don't care which one you use, but just make it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. 4-week deals and 4-week courses, they're fine, but I don't find many clubs actually actively growing because of their 4-week courses. So a lot of marketers that are out there, saying grow your clubs and we're going to give people 4 or 8-week courses. You end up signing up with them. That marketer works with you for a couple of months. You find that, yes, you added 20 members. Yes, they all paid you, but then they all disappeared after the course and you get the same member number than you were before. So for me, 1 free class, paid trial, up to you which one you want to choose, but choose an offer, get set in stone with that offer. Step 3, launch Facebook ads properly. Watch this video here. This video is going to show you step-by-step how to launch Facebook ads. As I said, this is linked in the doc. There's also a second Facebook ad there's a second video on my YouTube channel, which is all about how to launch profitable Facebook ads. We want to watch that as well, because I want you to understand how much money we actually need to spend to get that money back. What I mean by that is, if we spend £300 on Facebook ads and every member who joins gives us £50, well, how many members do we need to sign up to get that £50 back? Sorry, to get that £300 back. And we can work that out pretty easily with a calculator. £300 divided by the £50 that people give us front, we need 6 members. So we need 6 members to join to get that £300 back. If we spend £300 and we get more than 6 members from the ads, we're profitable. So how many members do we need to join? Well, for your martial arts school where you want to be adding 12 to 15 members, work out worst possible outcome. How much could you spend to get those 15 members? So if we took 15 members, each one of those members are going to pay you £50 up front. Let's say that's how much you charge and you don't have any joining fees. Well, you can spend £750 in a month. As long as you sign 15 members from the Facebook ads, you've got the same money that you've just spent on Facebook back in your bank, ready to reinvest the following month. So don't be scared to spend more if it's actually working, but it all comes back to knowing our numbers. How much do you charge for your classes? Okay? Times that by the amount of members that we're trying to hit. That's the maximum that you could spend as long as you actually got those members through the door and signed up. We don't want to spend 750 quid and then only get 8 people through the door, because we've collected less money, which means next month we're going to struggle to find the money to reinvest in advertising. So when it comes to advertising, you'll see on the video that here. Sorry, it cut out a bit there, but basically, when it comes to Facebook ads, we need to work out, if we spend this much money on ads, how many members do we need to get through the door to get that money back in the first month? If we can do that, then we're onto a winner and we can possibly spend more, as long as it's actually working. Don't just fall into the habit of just spending more for the sake of it. We want to be at a point where it's actually working. If it's not actually working and it's not profitable, go and learn how to run Facebook ads properly, or go and work with people like us where we can help you get systems in place to launch Facebook ads properly, because people think it's expensive to work with marketer. It's more expensive to just run shit ads for the next 12 months of your life and not grow. That is way more expensive. And then step 4, this is the most important step for me by far. Follow up with these leads. Literally, let me make myself bigger. Follow up with these leads that come through. These people have given you their name, their email address, their phone number. They've possibly answered some extra questions. Follow up with them. Drop them a text message. If they don't reply, drop them another text message. If they don't answer that, give them a call. Actually follow up like you care. It's pointless you spending money on Facebook ads if you're not then going to try hard to get those people through the door. Try hard, get them through the door. Literally, if they don't answer, drop them a text message, drop them a WhatsApp, drop them an email. If they don't reply, give them a call. Honestly, if you can follow up properly, it means you can spend less money, get less leads, and still end up with a good result in terms of people coming through the door. There's some martial arts schools out there, they spend thousands and thousands every single month, and they convert an okay amount, but percentage-wise, they convert a terrible amount of the leads that they're getting, and it's because they're not putting effort in. However, there's clubs around the corner from them that could probably spend half as much on advertising, or even less, but then convert a higher percentage because they're putting effort in. If you don't have unlimited money, then you should be following up properly when it comes to the leads that are coming through. So make sure you're following up properly. Don't just rely on emails. Emails have a terrible open rate. So last thing I want to see is you relying massively, on just emails. Send text messages, send WhatsApp, send emails. do all of the above. Step 5, give them an amazing class. Cannot jump over this. If your classes are crap and you don't excite people that come through the door, and they come through the door, they leave the door less excited than they were when they came through, you're not going to sign people up. So make sure your classes are actually good. I speak to clubs all the time where they say, my classes are good, but I've got this coach, and this coach, he's terrible, and blah, blah, blah. If you're giving people a shit service and you're giving people a terrible product, they're not going to sign up. It doesn't matter who you're getting through the door. So make sure your classes are good. Also, just as important as following up with people. Greet them when they come through the door. Actually use their name. This sounds stupid, but actually say their name. Sam's came through the door today. Hey, Sam, we're really excited to have you here. Got any questions? No, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Answer any questions they've got. Give them a little bit of a tour if you can. Buddy them up with somebody who they're going to have a great class with. Just make sure that they feel really, really comfortable the moment they come through the door. Don't leave them standing at the desk for 10 minutes. Actually go over to them. Actually make them feel comfortable as soon as physically possible. Introduce them to one friendly student. I just covered that. Tell them exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to do the stretching now, and then we're going to go through a warm-up. Then we're going to do this. Honestly, we've got a really good class planned, and I think you're going to really, really enjoy it. Find out any pain points as well. And then after the class, tell them what they did well. Once again, using their name. Show that you actually care. And then at the end, ask them, did you enjoy the class? Yes, perfect. Let's get you signed up. We've got these 2 options. Let's go for it. Really, really simple. Actually ask them to join up. Very important. A lot of people don't bother doing this. It's very, very important. Step 6, keep new members engaged. A lot of people don't bother doing this. Once again, there's no point us getting loads of people through the door if we're not going to make sure that they actually stay. So follow up with people who do join, giving you money, check in with them, make sure they're actually happy. How are you enjoying the classes so far, Sam? Awesome. Sam, oh my God, when you first came, you weren't able to throw that round kick. We saw, I just saw that you threw that kick absolutely brilliantly. That's the best I've ever done it. Show that you give a fuck. Show that you care. You can also put automated emails and things in place that just reach out to them, every few days or every week for the first 60 to 90 days, just so, they know that you're actually thinking of them. One really, really important thing that I don't think many martial arts schools do that you should do is when someone joins, outline to them the best way that they can keep up this habit. So what I mean by that is when people join, they haven't done martial arts before. They don't know about the martial arts world. So what they're going to do is they're going to join, they'll get really excited to try a new thing. They're going to love their first class, and then they're going to think, how can I come here as much as physically possible? And they're going to come 4 or 5 days a week. Every single week, they're going to be there constantly. Then the excitement and height of the motivation is going to die off, and then they're going to disappear and they're going to cancel their membership after 3 weeks. We don't want that to happen. So what I would do if I was you is I'd go over to them and I'd say, look, when people join really excited, I want this to be a habit that you can keep up so you can actually get to the point where you can lose weight, as you mentioned to me earlier, Sam. And for that to happen, we need this to be long-term, don't we, instead of short-term. Sam's going to agree. And then you're going to say, brilliant. So what a lot of people is they join, they burn themselves out, they come and do 10 classes a week, they just kill themselves off. We found the students that stay with us the longest and get the best results, they come X times a week. So if I was you, I'd pick 2 days or 1 day, whatever you think is best, for you to come down and stick to those days and times every single week. Don't change it, because if you come Tuesday one week and Friday the next, very quickly it'll become no times a week. But just pick 1 day and time that you can stick to every single week and just stick to it and make this a habit. And then when it's a habit, we can start to increase the amount of times that you come through the door. And if you do it that way, we found people stay for longer. Actually educate the people who join, but teach them what you actually want them to do so they can stay as long as possible. We don't want members leaving after 3 weeks. It's completely pointless putting all this effort in if they're going to leave. But that's why we want to make as much money as possible from month 1. We want to profit in month 1. So if they do leave in month 2, we're not shitting it. Step 7, track your progress every week. We want to know how many leads have we had, how many of those actually booked in, how many of those showed up, how many of those joined. If there's a problem, you'll see the problem by knowing these numbers. If you're not getting enough leads, you'll see it. If out of the leads, not enough are booking in, you'll see it. And then the problem's somewhere here. If, you're having people show up, but then they're not joining and you can see there's a big drop off there, you know your problem is sales. So wherever the drop off is, that's where the problem is. So we can come in and fix that thing. Make sure we're tracking this progress every single week. If you want incredible results, if you want good results or okay results, track it every single month. But regardless, you need to be tracking it. If you're not tracking it and you're not tracking your spend, then very quickly, this can lead to you just spending money and not getting any results whatsoever. Step 8, the 50 member breakdown. Let's make this simple. To add 50 members, you need around 200 leads. That's 50 leads a month for 4 months. If you spend around £5 per lead, that's £250 per month per program. Honestly, I think I've overwritten this here. Let me fuck that up. Show ups for how many signups? Okay, cool. So this might not make complete sense, but my point is, if you can work out your numbers after month 1, then you can go back and you can say, right, in month 1, we had 70 leads. Out of those 70 leads, 25 of them booked. Out of those 25, 20 showed up. And out of those 20 that showed up, 10 signed up. And then we can work out the percentages of each thing. So we can say, right, we got 70 leads. Out of those 70 leads, 40%, 35% actually book in. Out of the 35% that book in, we have like 80+% actually show up. And then out of the 80% that show up, we have 10 that sign up. Now, if we can know these numbers, then we can just figure out, okay, cool. If we could increase the amount of leads that we got to 100 leads, well, percentage-wise, how many bookings would we get? How many show-ups would we get? And then out of those show-ups, we'd get 50% actually signed up based on our numbers before. And then we can just control the lead side of things. So what I mean by that is if we're spending £500 a month and we're getting 70 leads and a percentage of 25 of those are booking in, 20 of those are showing up and 10 of those are signing up, we can work out if that's profitable. And then we can come back and we can say, right, if I spent £1,000 a month, I'd have 140 leads, which means 50 would book in, 40 of those would show up, and then we'd have 20 signed up. Is 20 profitable? Okay, let me go back over to my calculator, and I can work out 20. I'm spending £1,000 a month times by the £50 that they pay me. Okay, that's bang on the money. So actually, if I could spend £1,000 next month, and as long as I got 20 sign-ups, and all of the percentages stayed the same, we're actually winning. And then you can actually go, okay, next month I'm going to spend £1,000 on ads, but I'm going to put more effort into getting more people booked in because I can see there's a massive drop off here. So I'm going to text more people, I'm going to call more people, I'm going to follow up with more people. And hopefully we can actually increase this percentage wise. And instead of having 20 people sign up, maybe we get 25 sign up. It means we're still making more money in month 1. I'm going to let you go through this document properly yourself. As I said, I'm going to link it in the description below. And then the final step is if you do want any help, in the description below, you can book a call with us. We'll walk you through what it is that we do, and we'll see if what we do actually, works for your club and could potentially help you grow your club fast. The results are pretty awesome, and if you're trying to grow your club really, really quick, and potentially you don't want to go through it all on your own, we're pretty good, but I am biased. But this for me is the 8 steps that you need to go through if you want to grow your club yourself. As I said, we need to know our numbers. We want to keep our offer really simple. On top of that, launch your ads properly. I've got a video that will literally show you step by step how to launch the ads. Follow up with the leads that actually come through properly. Give an amazing first class when people come through the door. Keep new members engaged. There's no point getting them if we're not going to keep them. Track our progress every week. And then step 8, we can actually use these numbers and these percentages to then make changes to then get the results even better. But those are the 8 steps that we do with the clubs that we work with, except we also put systems in place to make our lives easier. But if I was going to make a 50 members playbook, this is exactly what I'd be doing as a martial arts learner. Anyway, that's everything for this video. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comment section below. Other than that, have an absolutely amazing day. I make videos like this to help martial arts learners. If you know anyone who you think videos like this would benefit, share this video with them. It genuinely means the world to me, and it means that we can reach more martial arts schools and help more people. Other than that, have an absolutely phenomenal day. Peace.